We're coming off a 2-in-1 card for +1 unit, which is the betting version of leaving the casino with your eyebrows still attached. Barca handled business 2-0 while basically renting the other team's half for 90 minutes. The Warriors hit that third quarter turbo button like it was legally required, and Vegas took our Leafs ticket, lit it on fire with 7 seconds left, then danced on the ashes in overtime. Profit's profit. On to tonight. Here's the card up front. No mystery, no poetry. Chicago at Brooklyn over 224.5. Cleveland at Philly. 76ers -1.5 at -110. Minnesota at Houston. Rockets +4.5 at -110. Now let's get paid with math and vibes. Mostly math, but we'll keep the vibes on the roster. For Bulls Nets, we're playing the over 224.5 because this matchup is basically a pace and defense crime scene with witnesses everywhere. Chicago is third in pace, and that's not a personality trait, that's a lifestyle. They don't jog, they sprint into questionable decisions, and defensively, they're down in the bottom tier, bleeding points like a leaky faucet you keep meaning to fix for 6 months. Now stack that against Brooklyn's current form. The Nets had that weird December stretch where they played defense like it was a new religion, but January has been more like defense is a suggestion. Recent games show opponents living comfortably in the one teens, and when a team's effort dips, the first thing to go is transition discipline. That matters because Chicago will run after makes, misses, timeouts, halftime, probably after the national anthem too. The sneaky part is the Bulls missing Josh Giddey. People hear primary playmaker out and assume offense dies, but sometimes it just means the offense gets simpler and louder. Fewer fancy passes, more shots from the actual scorers. Kobe White and Nikola Vucevic pick up usage, and Vucevic has been in trade rumor. Cool, watch this mode. He just put up a monster line recently and the Bulls still dropped 128 without Giddey. Meanwhile, Brooklyn's got shot makers who don't mind turning possessions into heat checks. Michael Porter Jr. can score over basically anyone Chicago can throw at him, and Cam Thomas being back just adds more gasoline. We're projecting a game that lives in the low 230s if the possession count gets where we think it will. And if it's close late, Brooklyn's clutch defense has been a horror movie, meaning more buckets, more free throws, and more points when unders go to die. Give us the over. Next, Cavaliers at 76ers. We're laying the short number with Philly -1.5 at -110. And yes, Cleveland just smoked them by a mile in the last meeting. That's exactly why we're here. The public sees a blowout and assumes it's a permanent personality flaw. We see variance and we see injuries doing real structural damage. Cleveland's missing Darius Garland, and that's not just 20-ish points disappearing, it's the second brain of their offense. Without Garland, Donovan Mitchell has to be the entire airport. He has to run the offense, create separation, score, and also apparently direct traffic. And the depth isn't exactly comforting either. When you're also down key wings and shooters, the spacing shrinks, the margin for error disappears, and the opponent can trap you without fear of the punishment pass. That's where Nick Nurse comes in. We're expecting Philly to blitz Mitchell early and force the ball into the hands of Cleveland's secondary creators. Meanwhile, Philly's own stars are sitting on a regression trampoline. Tyrese Maxey just had an ugly scoring night last game. Those don't tend to repeat, especially at home, especially in a revenge spot where the film session probably felt like a group roast. Joel Embiid is listed as probable, and when Embiid is engaged, the rim becomes a no-fly zone, and the free throw line becomes his second home address. Add in that Philly has been the more reliable team against the spread overall, while Cleveland's been a wallet drainer in that department, and this short spread starts to look like a thank you for your donation number. We don't need perfection, just Philly to win the game by 2, which is basically one solid fourth quarter run and one normal Maxey shooting night. Now the third play, Timberwolves at Rockets, give us Houston +4.5 at -110. This one is all about grabbing points in a game that profiles like a grind. Houston plays slow, bottom tier pace slow, not slow dance at prom slow, more like we're saving energy for the fourth quarter slow. And in lower possession games, every point in the spread gets heavier. 4.5 points in a track meet is one thing. 4.5 points in a rock fight is a gift. The other reason we can stomach Houston here is their identity, defense and the glass. They're elite on the offensive boards, #1 in offensive rebound rate, which means even when the first shot is ugly, they can manufacture extra possessions like they're printing them in the basement. That's huge against a Minnesota team that's missing Anthony Edwards, because without that star-level shot creation, Minnesota's offense can get more committee-driven. That can be efficient, sure, but it can also get sticky late when you need a bailout bucket. Yes, Houston is dealing with fatigue factors, and Kevin Durant's workload and age curve matter. Nobody's immune to biology, not even a walking bucket. But that's exactly why we're taking the points instead of demanding a clean win. We don't need Houston to be perfect. We just need them to defend, rebound, and keep the game in that one possession either way zone. If Minnesota wins, fine. Just win politely. 4 points is a lot when possessions are scarce and second chance points are flowing. So that's the card. Bulls nets over 224.5, 76ers minus 1.5, Rockets plus 4.5. Let's keep the unit sizing responsible, units, not rent money, and let's run it back with another profitable night.